real quick plan that everybody in this room could implement if they so chose. So let's say you're one of those people that has pretty much close to $100,000, and you're getting most of your basic needs met. Okay? I'm not going to ask you to raise hands, but if you're in that category, in other words, what I call more money than time. But you don't quite have that extra $100,000 you need to start investing in real estate. But you're okay working, and you're surviving pretty good, and you're willing to keep doing it for like another 3 to 5 years. Anybody fall in that category? Right now in Prince George's County, and I don't know if this will hold true 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but right now in Prince George's County, you can pretty much find a property that's going to throw off at least $1,000 a month positive cash flow after you've paid your property manager, after you've paid your mortgage, after you've paid your taxes. I showed you 2 yesterday, Chesterton and Deepwood. Y'all remember that? We walked through Deepwood, where my son's living. That property will easily throw off $1,000 a month cash flow. You with me? Now, those properties will generally cost you between $150 up to about $250. So let's say you can get your hands on one of those properties for about $240,000. Okay? What's the median price of a house in Prince George's? $240. 240 change, 250, depending on which survey. But basically, there's plenty of these kinds of houses in Prince George, because that's about the median price of a house in Prince George's. You're like, Sherman, what if I go to Montgomery County? Go to Montgomery County, but this plan won't work. But this plan will work all day long, night and day, 24/7 in Prince George's. Okay? But it is possible. Right? That house that costs $240, you might have to put 10% down payment. How much is 10% down payment on $240? $24,000. You're like, Sherman, I ain't got no $24,000. I know that. I already said you don't have the second $100,000. Oh, by the way, if you did have the second $100,000, how many of those deals could you do in a year? At least 4. But let's assume for a second you don't have that second 100. You're paying the basic bills, you're okay, you're surviving, but you don't have that extra $100,000 to go out and buy them 4 houses. No problem. At the end of 1 year, how much cash flow will that house produce? $12,000. At the end of 2 years, cumulatively, how much will it produce? $24,000. At the end of 3 years, how much will it produce? At the end of 4 years. And at the end of 5 years, $60,000. Everybody see how that works? Does anybody not understand that? I buy a property, I'm focused on Prince George's County, I'm buying the same kind of properties that Sherman showed on the bus tour yesterday. I'm paying anywhere up to $240,000. Deepwood, I told you, I got that one for $140. Put $20,000 into it. Put $11,000 into it, excuse me. Chesterton, I'm buying for $92. Going to put 20-some thousand into it, right? So these are well below the $240. But at $240, the numbers still work. That house will produce $12,000 cumulatively over the first year, then 24, then 36, then 48, then 60. So what if I had that job that's paying me $100,000 or close to $100,000, but I don't have enough money for the down payment, but I'm willing to keep on working for the next couple of years? Can I carve out just enough time, and not a second more, but just enough time to go out and find at least one of these deals every couple of months? And if I don't have the down payment, can I find somebody, maybe even somebody amongst who I work with, who may have $24,000? And by the way, where do most people keep their money? Not in their pillow, not in their savings account. Shoot, most people don't. You know what a savings account is like? A landline. No, but they will have it where? In their retirement account. And it's going to be in their IRA. It's going to be in their solo K. It's going to be in their 401k. It's going to be in their TSP. But somewhere along the way, they're going to have some money. On average, how much do most people put aside April 15th before tax day or April 14th before tax day? Yeah, and as much as you can is about $5,000, but most people put aside about $3,000 to $5,000. Which means if you've worked anywhere from 5 to 10 years, you have at least $20-some thousand, $24,000, $25,000. So you talk to some of your family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, etc., and you find out there's like 3 or 4 people that you actually know who would love to invest in real estate. But for whatever reason, they're not here today. They're not off seeing the out-of-town gurus either. They're whatever. Football game, soccer game, life, at home eating bonbon, I don't know. But they're not here. And they didn't see this. As I kept on saying on the bus yesterday, how come more people don't do this? And Wally said, because they're not on the bus with you. They don't even know this stuff exists. People who are not in this room don't even know that this stuff exists to a large degree. So couldn't you go back to these family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, people that you know, and say to them, tell you what, if you're willing to put down the $24,000, I will find the house, I will manage the fixing of the house, I will manage the manager who's managing the house, I will take care of all the paperwork, and you can have all the cash flow. How much is the cash flow? All of it for the first 2 years. So I'm saying to you, Salim, I'll give you, if you give me $24,000, over 2 years I'll give you back your $24,000. Doesn't that sound like a good deal? So how do I sweeten that deal? Go 1 more year. And if we go 1 more year, she gets $36,000. She put up 24, she gets back 24, which means she made how much? 36 minus 24. Come on, people, we gave you calculators. We gave you calculators. Lisa, didn't we give these people some calculators? 12, bless you. 12. If you put up 24 and you make 12, what kind of return is that?
Depends how many years it's at.
If you put up 24 and you get back 12, you made 50%. Now I'm being totally serious now. Would somebody please bring out your calculator? Look, use your iPhone. 50% is the same as 0.5, isn't it? And if you take 0.5 and you divide it 3 by how many years? 3 years, what do you come up with? 0.1666, which is the same thing as saying 16.7. Can we just round it up to 17%? So while, are you okay if I pick on you some more? Because I like picking on you. No, I'm not going to pick on the engineers anymore. But some of you are sitting there thinking, why in the world would anybody let me have $24,000 out of the retirement account? Well, first of all, they're not going to let you have anything. You are going to figure out, with our help, with my help, how to put together a private investor presentation, and you're going to explain to them in a very short 20-minute presentation with pictures that if they co-invest with you, over a 3-year period of time, they will make 50% on their $24,000, which translates into a 17% annualized return. Now, of those people who have their money invested in an IRA, solo K, 401k, or TSP, how many of them are making 17%? None. And once you understand how to explain it and get confident in explaining it, you'll have a line around the block. You say, well, Sherman, that's all well and good, except they're going to get all the cash flow. They're going to get all the cash flow for 3 years. After the 3rd year, what happens? It all comes to you. Did you not buy that property nothing down as far as you're concerned? So let me ask you a question. How many properties can you buy when you buy nothing down like that? As many people as you can convince that this is a great idea. Is this a great idea?
Yes.
Have you seen this in action?
Yes.
Yes!